This is Rene Enriquez. Nickname Black Hand of the Mexican Mafia. Prison gang politics.
Hey folks, my name is Rene Enriquez and you're watching Uncensored. Well, today folks is December 31st, 2025, New Year's Eve. I'm up bright and early, having my coffee, and wanted to wish you all a very happy new year. I mean, as I set up the recorder, I thought about what am I going to talk about? I mean, each milestone that I cross, I always reflect on the past, right? And I think the biggest thing for me is that I realize I'm not supposed to be here. Like, I was the guy that was never supposed to get out of prison. I've said this a few times. Like, I was a poster child for life without. In fact, I had a sentence of life without. I had 2/15 lives for the eliminations that I had participated in, and a sentence of life without the possibility of parole for 20 years under 667.7 of the California Penal Code. That was the Habitual Criminal Act, the old law before 3 strikes. And that meant life without. So in my time when I went to prison, there was no such thing as parole for lifers. Very rarely did Dugmagian or Reagan or Schwarzenegger ever grant parole. They had to be ex-cops or rich or had some kind of political influence, because parole in California was an impossibility. In fact, Gray Davis at one point in time spoke about it in an interview. He says there will be no individual in California paroling that has been convicted of murder. And then he retracted that. He rescinded that because people were lining up to sue him immediately. But the tides changed, obviously. Jerry Brown came into office, then Gavin Newsom, and now it's the great exodus. Everybody's getting out. I haven't heard of any active lifers getting out, but I see it coming at some point in the future. At some point, the courts will rule that validation, absent illicit behavior or illegal behavior, is not a reason to hold somebody in prison for the rest of their life. I truly believe that. So I think that the guys that are active, that are on the main lines doing what they're supposed to do in terms of rehabilitation, will get out. I think that's coming. I think it's coming in a series of lawsuits. And you'll see guys start to get out. So life is no longer life in the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. And that's what I'm thankful for today. I'm thankful for being free. I mean, I look back and I look at all the cruddy things that have happened this year. Like I lost 3 channels. I got hacked, and it was a discouraging thing. I mean, I was ready to quit at that point. But if anybody knows me, they know that I'm driven. I'm extremely driven, and when I set my mind to something, that's what I do. I set out to do it, and I keep trying, and I keep trying, and I keep trying. So the channel you see today is the evolution of really 4 or 5 channels. And then ultimately we got hacked. Mundo and I got hacked, and we had the mob spot. I had Rene Enriquez Uncensored. We had another channel, lost all those. That went down. YouTube took them down because they were hacked by Bitcoin scammers. And as soon as they started running their scam on our channels, they took over the channels, right? And as soon as YouTube detected they were running scams, they just eliminated the channel. So we lost everything. And we're talking about a ton of great work that Ramon and I did together. So it was really a treat to run across the audio that I found the other day and ran those 2 episodes. And then Ramon ran it on his channel. You guys maybe want to go check that out. Convicts and Cops. He runs some old historic stuff there. And I sent the audio to him to run on his channel as well, and he did an animated piece on it, which was pretty nice. Excuse me, I'm still waking up. I just had one cup of coffee, and I need another cup of jet fuel. I drink this stuff called Death Wish, and it's pretty damn good. But I'm planning out the day, and I'm reflecting on all this stuff, and I look back on the hacking, on getting off a supervised release, just assimilating, everything that I've accomplished, my business, and I think all of it pales in comparison to freedom. I mean, look at everything you have, all the materialistic stuff, right? I'm a shopaholic. One thing I'm vain about is watches and suits. I like to dress. I love to dress. I think it defines a man. You walk into a room, you're popping in a nice suit, sporting a nice watch, because when a beautiful woman walks into the room and she's well put together and she's rocking Louis Vuitton or whatever it is she's rocking, you could see her and you say she's well put together, right? So when I walk in, I don't have the female vanity, but I have the male vanity. I think that's one of my flaws. I want to look good, right? But I look at all this stuff that I've acquired in the 3 years that I've been out, 3.5 years that I've been out, and it's nothing. Not the cars, nothing. It's nothing compared to the person that I'm supposed to be with. That's my blessing. My freedom, that's my blessing. My dog, that's my blessing. I look at that today, and that's what really matters. That's what really matters. So take a moment and reflect on your year. What's important to you? Not the money. We can live without money. Not the stuff. We can live without stuff. Not the acceptance of other people. We can live without the acceptance of other people. It's just the simplicity, right? The peace of having peace. I say that frequently, but I don't think many people realize that because they're caught up in the hustle and bustle and traffic and keeping up with the Joneses and bills and work. And sometimes you got to parse that out. Like, nah, not today. Today it's my coffee, do my stuff around the house. Tonight, cigar, some IPAs, maybe some Voodoo Ranger, and get ripped. I'm getting ripped tonight, folks, but you won't see me in the live talking drunk. You will not see that from me. I've seen a few content creators do that, and just never going to be me. I'm pretty reserved and conservative in what I do. I don't go to parties. I don't have friends. I have a couple that are cops, and I'm pretty conservative in how I party. I'm not a wild man like I used to be. I used to be a freaking wild man. And I guess I retain some of that in me, but, the beast is in there somewhere. You could take the lion out of the jungle, but he's still a freaking lion, right? But I'm an old lion now. And I'm happy with that. And I'm happy with all you guys, man. You guys have made this channel a success. You guys have made Patreon a success. And I couldn't have done it without each of you. So each of you that are members, each of you that are viewers, I truly appreciate you. I don't think the content creators get up enough and give you guys praise. That's why I give away the stuff that I give away. I answer personally to the comments. I respond to your emails because it's the personal interactivity that I think defines us for who we are. That's uncensored, right? You can reach out to me. You can contact me and I will respond. I can't do all the comments. It's just a freaking impossibility. But I will get to you if you keep commenting, right? Some of them I just put that little heart icon on there. And for me, it's a pleasure. That you guys get up and you say good morning and it's a common courtesy, right? Like you see somebody, hey, morning. And then you anticipate that the individual is going to say good morning back, right? So that's how I view your comments. Like you anticipate a response. Other channels won't respond at all, but I will. I'll do that as long as I can. As long as as long as I'm physically possible. And we're right at the cusp of 30,000 subscribers. That's an accomplishment this year. That is an accomplishment this year. So, we have a few hundred away from 30,000. I think that's our next celebration. So if it's one thing today you do, it's just sit back and reflect on the small blessings. The small blessings. Not the huge ones, not winning the lottery. Just the little blessings that you have, the person that you're with, the air that you're breathing, the peace that you have at this moment. And with that said, folks, let's ring in the new year. Tonight, let's rock and roll. Let's party like there is no tomorrow. And that's how I live life. I live life like there is no tomorrow because it's not promised to any of us. Nobody knows when we're leaving this earth. And I'll be able to say that I lived well and I loved those that loved me and I cared for those that cared for me. And even the people that don't care for me and love me, I still care for. I still pray for some of the bros in there. I know that sounds crazy, but some of them I love. They're my friends and they'll always be my friends, even though they're sworn to kill me. But I wish them peace tonight. I wish them peace throughout their lives. All right, folks. Have a happy new year. I'm out. Drive safe. Don't drink and drive. Watch out for the drunk drivers. Happy New Year.
This is Rene Enriquez. Nickname Black Hand of the Mexican